#2 Michigan State in Minnesota to take on the Gophers. So happy you could join us on this Tuesday night from Ames, Iowa, along with the 2016 Big Ten Coach of the Year, Tom Crean. I'm Mark Neely. Coach, why has Kansas become so dependent on Devontae Graham that they now play him 40 minutes a game?
Because he's so consistent. Outside of Jalen Brunson at Villanova, he might be the most consistent guard in the country. He's durable, he's dependable, he makes others better. At the point of attack, he's always there. And what I love about him, take away all the offense, take away all the defense. He's playing as hard from the first 5 minutes as he is in the last 5 minutes. And that is important.
Hilton Magic, we all know about that. This is a difficult place to play for opponents. Iowa State has played well at home in conference play with wins over ranked teams. Texas Tech, West Virginia, and Oklahoma. And they're looking for another one tonight over 13th ranked Kansas. We're ready to go. Kansas in the blue, Iowa State in the white. Jerry Pollard, our lead official, puts the ball in the air, and it's the Jayhawks that have the game's first possession. A quick three from Weiler-Babb. Ball deflected by Vick. The Gerald Vick did not start the last 2 games, but had start every game prior to that. He's back in the lineup, and also the Iowa starting 5 does not feature Nick Weiler-Babb, but we do expect him to play at some point. That is significant for the Cyclones. A young jumper from the right side, and the Cyclones open the scoring.
And that will be an interesting matchup with Svi Mihailuk having to guard one of the inside players in Solomon Young, with Bill deciding to start Svi at the 4 spot tonight.
But Kyler can't handle the pass, and Kansas turns it over. Weiler-Babb was injured in a pregame mishap with a teammate during the layup line and the shooting before the game at Baylor the other day. It definitely affected his shooting. He was 0 for 6 in 3-point shots. He's missed his first 3 here tonight, though he has told us that he is back to seeing 100%.
He had a good look at the rim. Not as good a look at that pass.
That's an offensive foul on Solomon Young. Young playing with a left knee issue. He had an MRI on the left knee today.
What's interesting, watch this now. They've got Cameron Lard on the Gerald Vick. The first time these 2 teams matched up, Lard guarded Malik Newman, which means he didn't guard him. He let him shoot. They do not want to come out and guard Vick at the 3-point line.
Azubuike, defended by Young, shoots with the right hand and banks it in.
You let him get to that left shoulder, it's like it's automatic. And he doesn't need much space to get it off. He is so good turning to his left and getting into that jump hook.
That's a long 2 from Young, batted out by Lard, and it's Kansas ball.
Azubuike is so good at setting up, and if you let him get to his left shoulder where he can turn and get over top, he does a great job of putting his shoulder right in your sternum. So it's impossible to come back and block the shot, and it creates the space he needs.
That's a Vick 3 off the right side, and Young takes the rebound away and gives it to Wigginton. Quick pass up ahead for Talley, who bumps into Devontae Graham.
These are 2 of the better teams, Mark, in the league at taking the defensive rebound. Obviously, they can take the turnover, but they do such a great job of getting the defensive rebound and getting out and going.
Two minutes here in Ames, 2 minutes gone, a 2-2 score. Wigginton looking for space. Here's Lard, who traveled.
Good call. Great defense. Wigginton loves to refuse the ball screen. Loves to refuse it, and they had good help. He couldn't turn the corner.
3rd season for head coach Steve Prohm and Iowa State. The Cyclones coming off a win over Oklahoma on Saturday. They won here 88-80, and that's on the Jayhawks and Vick.
Well, not exactly the way Bill drew it up. They knew whoever was Lard decided to guard, that man would become a screener more in the weave action. But Vick has got to stop and pop his feet and can't just keep going through the defender.
Jackson. Newman had the rebound. Young knocked it away. It's last touched by Solomon Young. Kansas trying to bounce back from the loss in Waco on Saturday, beaten 80-64. And Bill Self told us today, hey, we were just flat out bad. Did not play well.
He didn't mix any punches. That would have been, if we would have had Bill unplugged, we'd have had all the ratings we needed.
Newman stops in the lane, out for Graham. His deep three. Lard takes it away from his own teammate Young. Kansas has missed their first three-point attempts, and they're so dependent on making those threes.
They are, and right now, this is what's going to be big. All right, when they come down the court, can Iowa State find a way to get it inside early?
Get it down low there.
That's so important when you're playing Kansas. Don't ever let them set their defense where they can get into their switching game and get into their help game.
Mikhailuk falling down and travels. Third Kansas turnover. Talley brings it up this time. Zoran Talley, a redshirt junior transfer. Played a couple of seasons at Old Dominion. A wide open Wigginton around and out. Graham kicks it to the corner. That three's well long from Malik Newman.
Three, not a good three at all. A corner three challenge, that's a fast break waiting to happen. It's exactly what just happened. But now they'll do the smart thing and set it up.
Devontae Graham deflected the outlet pass, or it could have been a quick outlet the other way.
I'm really impressed with how Iowa State's bigs are getting out and running. Now, when they go into this weave action, watch how Iowa State gets off the pass. They make the pass just like that. Just like that. They do such a great job of making the pass, sprinting off the pass. Not standing and hopping, but sprinting off the pass. Creates a ton of trouble for the defender.
Talley has 4 of Iowa State's 6 points, and Azubuike and 1.
Strong move. Very strong move. Went up with 2 hands, played through the contact.
So Azubuike has all the Kansas points. He'll be at the line when we come back to Ames.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Boost Mobile and in part by Infinity. Empower the drive.
State's name on there. Look at this crowd. Look at the way this team plays at home, and they're in last place in this league. That says everybody, and I'm not sure there would be anybody that obviously wouldn't want to come in here that would have to face Iowa State in the Big 12 tournament. That says everything you need to know about how strong this is.
Udoka Azubuike looking to complete the three-point play out of the timeout, and somebody might have gotten in the lane early. And he's going to get another opportunity. Well, Azubuike, since that 1-for-8 performance from the free throw line at Oklahoma on January 23rd, has hit 10 of his last 19 free throws.
And didn't shoot one at all this past Saturday at Baylor.
Gets a second opportunity and sinks it. Of course, the Jayhawks, their staff been working with Azubuike on that free throws. Lard from a tough angle kisses it in.
But that's what he is. He's an angle scorer. He's a seal guy. He's not a guy that's going to have a plethora of post moves. He wants to bury you, and he buried Big Dope, which is easier said than done.
Azubuike now on the offensive side with Lard. Barrels into the lane and scores.
That's just too easy. It's so hard to guard him, okay, with anybody that is his size, but they're letting him get to his left shoulder. And that's basically, he'll start dunking that soon. He's that close to the rim.
This is Beverly, who's in the game for Iowa State. Solomon Young has gone to the bench with a couple of early fouls. Talley.
They've gone to more of these high ball screens for Jackson. He likes that space.
Jackson fires. Talley gets it off in time. Skying for the rebound, LeGerald Vick. Vick races it ahead. Pass over the top. Azubuike finds Svi streaking to the rim, but Wigginton able to get there from behind. Kansas off to a 3 for 8 start shooting. Iowa State 4 for 8.
Here comes a handoff for Jackson. Oh, great slip by Beverly. Great slip.
Beverly, who only averages about 4 points a game in 16 minutes on the floor with Solomon Young on the bench with 2 fouls.
He's not real quick. He's not extremely mobile, but he is a good catch and shoot guy, and he was wide open there.
Mikhailuk has missed his only 3-point attempt. This 3 from the corner, not there for Vic. Batted out by Azubuike, but then Vic commits the foul. Second on Vic.
Laird is so good at coming down the court, sealing and getting position. He's strong, he's relentless, and he just back Doak down off one dribble. But if you give Doak that left shoulder and let him turn and get to that right hand over his left shoulder, all right, you might as well just go down to the other end, because more often than not, that's why he's the leading field goal shooter in the country. It is automatic for him there.
Here's the steal, Newman.
Great play by Newman. He caught Wigginton kind of messing around with the ball. Wigginton is not a dribbler, he's a driver. There's a big difference. When you mess with the ball, you're just playing in the hands of defense.
Wigginton's been handling a lot of the point guard duties with Nick Weiler-Babb out the last 4 games, but we expect to see Weiler-Babb at some point tonight. Foul going on Kansas. Mitch Lightfoot coming off the bench for the Jayhawks. That's the first on Azubuike, who will go to the Kansas bench. But 7 points.
That's absolutely tough. That's what happened in the Oklahoma game a couple weeks ago when we were there. Is it's a different team when Doak is not on the court. Not a good foul. Not a good play at all. Newman got caught behind the cutter. He wasn't locked up. You can never be even with your man. The low man always wins. Newman got caught standing straight up, reacts, fouls. He's given an 84% free throw shooter 2 looks.
We're mentioning Azubuike, who was a perfect 4 of 4 from the field at Baylor, off to a 3 for 3 start, but he's on the bench. Wigginton, well, what an outstanding freshman he is.
Oh, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. When I see him, and I've been seeing his rise from Oak Hill, Steve Smith did such a great job with him at Oak Hill. Watching the rise this year with that athleticism, I start to see, to me, shades of Donovan Mitchell. And Donovan Mitchell might have been a little bit more of an explosive athlete, where Lindell might be a better shooter at the same age, but he's on the same trajectory, I believe, as Donovan Mitchell was moving it after 2 years in college. Marcus
Garrett walks with it, 4th Kansas turnover.
And they're all unforced. And then you count the corner threes that have been challenged, which have absolutely been ridiculous shots. Those are like shot turnovers. Right now, to be in a 3-point game, Kansas is very fortunate.
Lard with the dunk. Lard got the block, but the foul committed. The blocking foul on Wigginton, his first personal.
Now, the defense, Mitch Lightfoot steps out, hands are out, no contact on it, nobody rotates over, easy pocket pass, dunk for Lard, crowd goes nuts, we lay out, Mark.
We do that well, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I like listening to the crowd. This is one of the great venues. I hadn't been here since 2004, the year after we went to the Final Four at Marquette. We came in here and played in a quarterfinal NIT game for a trip to New York. Bert Smith reminded me that he was the referee on that game. And we ended up losing the game, and we lost our junior star, Travis Diener, for the offseason. But an incredible venue to play in. And it certainly hasn't changed much. It's only gotten louder.
Cyclones with the 4-point lead. These teams played a very competitive game in Lawrence earlier this season. In fact, a game that was tied late. It's a tally 3. Good. 7 points for Tally.
As Robbie Hummel calls it, bonus offense.
Zoran Tally.
Tally is gaining
offensive possessions. It is obvious they need him on the floor.
Yeah, like he's a plus-minus dream for the coach when you're looking at the plus. And they do. He's gone to the rim one time. They've missed him a couple of times. When he doesn't have the ball, He does such a good job of running to the corner. They got to find him so that he can either shoot it or drive it. Look for a three. Oh, they played it well.
Here is a three from Graham. And he breaks the drought for Kansas, who had missed their first 5 3-point attempts.
Right on cue with the superhero graphic. Right on cue. Well, he did a great job. He came off. It's a play. When they run a rescreen, he's either looking for the lob or to shoot that three behind the line of the screen. They didn't get it. They were patient. He gets a wide open three.
Lard spins around Lightfoot and lays it in. 6 points for Cam Lard. Now Lightfoot. It's going to stay with Kansas. And Kansas had a tough shooting day at Baylor. They were 6 for 31 in three-point shooting in Waco. That was a season low 19%.
Well, they take some challenge shots. We've already seen a couple in the left corner tonight. And Kansas is an outstanding corner three-point shooting team. Not only speed, but the bottom line, they're open threes. And right now, outside of Devontae Graham, they haven't had many open threes.
Kansas averages 10 made three-pointers per game.
This is where Lightfoot is so good, setting those random angle screens.
Too long from Mikhailuk. Bounce down low for Lard and just could not handle it in the 4th Cyclones turnover.
Well, Iowa State is already a great running team. The fact that they're taking so many corner threes plays right into the fast break's hands.
Well, Devontae Graham, we asked Coach Bill Self how he's keeping him fresh.
I think that we're doing all we can. You know, he gets massages every other day. I mean, you know, we bring him milk and cookies all the time to make sure he's content on that, and his caloric intake is right at the right spot. I mean, you know, we're doing all we can do, but the bottom line is he can't come out.
Yeah, a little tongue-in-cheek there from Coach. Newman lays it in. He is still a guy in his early 20s. He can play some minutes.
They got to be mixing some energy drinks into that milk and make sure it's pure sugar cookies, because he's definitely playing with a lot of energy.
Did you ever have to play anybody 40 minutes a game at a long period?
No, not very often. Some nights you will, if the night brings you that, but that's very, very hard to do. Very hard. Closest I came to that, maybe Yogi Ferrell's sophomore year. He played a lot of minutes.
Jackson with the shot clock winding down, misfires. Vic steps towards the bucket, a miss, and then Lightfoot went over the back.
Well, they've had success every time they've gone down low, and with Doak not in the game, it's almost a prerequisite now that that ball has got to touch the post, especially with Lard. Let's look for them to get into some kind of action off the screen and roll or on a post-up.
Lard traveled. And I think there were some questions where that call was going to go. If that was a foul on Graham, that was going to be a second, but it's a travel on Lard.
Yep. Jerry had a great view. Oh, he did. No question on that. No question on that. He took, that's a pretty easy call. It took about 4 steps there. Quick, short ones. Showed his short space quickness. Unfortunately, he had the ball in his hands.
Garrett trying to get past Beverly, and Marcus Garrett, who averages 4 points in about 20 minutes with a bucket.
He's getting so much better without the ball. And what you saw there, Devontae Graham driving the ball one way, creating misdirection and throwing it back the other way. Because everybody's watching the ball, that allows Garrett to take off, and it's a long closeout. He gets the basket.
Newman pulls up from 13 off the back rim. Lightfoot punches it out to Vic. Now Vic launches, and Kansas missed their first 5 three-pointers, but now they've hit 2 of their last 3. Timeout, Cyclones. And Kansas has taken the lead. A 30-second timeout. NBA, some association guys head back to school. You got UB Brown, Jay Billis. They have Virginia Tech at Duke. Mark Jackson, Dickie B, Clippers at the Celtics. And PJ Carlissimo, Dan Dockich get Kentucky at Auburn. Then Doris Burke teams up with Bill Walton. That'll be interesting for the Warriors, who was Bill's first team in the NBA, taking on the Trailblazers. All games also available on the app. Kansas Jayhawks taking their first lead thanks to a 7-0 run, all with Azubuike on the bench. And Nick Weiler-Babb now on the floor for Iowa State. He had missed the last 4 games with left knee tendonitis. A miss from long as Babb almost picked up a quick assist. Going for the lob, and
great hustle play by Nick Weiler-Babb. Great hustle play. We're going to see the ball move even better, especially now with Talley coming back in the game. When you've got 2 ball movers like Nick Weiler-Babb and Talley playing out of the corners, playing out of the wings, it's going to make shots come easier for everybody else.
So Azubuike has come back in for Kansas. He was off the floor for a little over 4 minutes off the clock. Graham, a missed 3. Quick outlet from Lard. Lard hustling. He gets it back and lays it in on the feed from Weiler-Babb. Lard just beat him down the floor.
He did, and that's what he's been doing all game. Whether they can throw it over the top like they did there or find him on the seal, they have got a matchup issue with Cameron Lard tonight, right now.
Lard has 8 points. The Cyclones have tied it. A step back 3 from Svi. Splash.
You cannot go under Svi, ever. Not at any point in time of the game can you go under the ball screen. Great read by Svi.
He missed his first 2 threes. He'd missed his last 7 over his last 2 games coming in. So he missed 9 in a row going back a few games prior to that.
They've got a few more possessions with Lard before he needs a break. They've got to go inside, try to get that second foul on Dope.
Weiler-Babb does just that.
Get it the old-fashioned way, on the drive.
And the foul on Azubuike is second.
Look at the steps on Lard. He gets out. His first 2 steps just take off. But again, defensively, you cannot.
To 3 and 9 teams in consideration. And it's our chance to go to Joe Lunardi's new home. He's live in the Infinity Bracket Bunker. We welcome in Joey Brackets. Hey, Joe, thanks for the time. Hey, first off, right away, some folks may be wondering why Kansas is the 2 seed and not Texas Tech, and that's really you following the mandate from the NCAA that came out over the weekend.
Yeah, I guess the simplest way, Mark, that I could answer that is, for the time being, the committee has given us a quarter of the answers to the test, and we would be foolish not to absorb that and apply them. Now, I don't happen to agree with that particular assessment, but last time I looked, they weren't giving me a vote.
Well, they should, all right, because you're on it. And you've even missed on me a few times over the year, but not very often. Let me ask you this. For all the Iowa State fans, let's go over what you think would have to happen. They're 4-8 in the league. They've got tonight, then they've got 2 more games at home, 3 on the road in the Big 12 tournament. What would they have to do to be in that conversation on Selection Sunday?
Well, let's start with this game. They have to win, right? They have to win their home games, Tom, or there's really no path for them to get enough wins to make the Big 12 tournament anything other than a win or go home proposition. That's the bad news. The good news is there aren't any real bad losses in the Big 12 this year because the league is so deep from top to bottom. But they certainly need a winning streak. I think they're the 10th best team in the league, but that doesn't mean they're not one of the top 50 or 60 best teams in the country. It's just their conference is so difficult this year. They have to find a way to navigate themselves to, let's say, 8-10 before they head to the Big 12 postseason event.
Hey, let me ask you that. Expand on that more, Joe, because regardless of the name on the front of the jersey, whatever team, if it's a Big 12 team and they have 8 conference wins going into the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City, is that team in the NCAA tournament regardless?
I would be shocked if we don't have an 8-10 Big 12 team in the tournament this year. And this is coming from a guy who's on record as saying there should be no sub-500 teams from a league in the NCAA tournament unless they win their way to 500 by getting deep into their own conference tournament. I think it would just add more value to the regular season and more urgency in some of those early round conference tournament games. But be that as it may, the rules don't exist that way, and this year it could be Texas, it could be TCU, it could be Baylor, it could be Oklahoma State. Heck, if Iowa State gets there, they're not going to be getting there as a 500 or above team in the league this year.
Well, we'll leave it there, Joe. Great insight. We appreciate it from you being live in the Infinity Bracket Bunker. We love what you've done with the place, by the way, there.
Not bad. You guys should stop by.
Thank you, Joe.
we're going to take you up on that invite. Thanks, Joe. Well, Kansas, the 5-point lead, trying to reverse underneath. Graham can't connect. See those Big 12 standings. Texas Tech right now hosting Oklahoma over on ESPN. Texas Tech, of course, won at Kansas.
Well, like he mentioned, this is such a big game for Iowa State. Every game in the Big 12 right now is a pivotal game. It really is, because the margin for error and the scoring margin, when you look at the numbers in the Big 12, are so close, and so many of these games are coming down to 1, 2, and 3 possession games constantly. Not every night, but more often than not. And that's the teams that can remain unflappable under pressure have the best opportunity to move forward.
So that's what Iowa State's looking at. The Kansas fans know tonight's important because they're wanting to see their team win a 14th consecutive Big 12 regular season title. And a loss here tonight would put a big monkey wrench in those plans. There's a 3 from Newman from the right corner. It's short. Solomon Young playing with a couple of fouls. Tipped that last. So it is Kansas ball.
We've got great activity when that shot goes up. Both of these teams, Kansas has gotten better at weak side rebounding, and Iowa State has been very good since December at weak side rebounding. We saw a gauntlet on that side.
Graham decides to take that 3. It is off the right side. A large rebound.
He had the one off the catch and shoot. He didn't need the dribble. The best shot is the first one a lot of times right there.
And Young.
But he has gotten, Solomon Young has gotten so much better with his jump shot. He's a competitor. He rebounds. He's tough. And he is making 2-point shots.
Drive by Graham. Wigginton got a hand on that. It's Iowa State with possession.
Comes down into the traffic. Great block. Knocks it off his head. Again, there's Lindell Wigginton. He is an outstanding athlete. Tremendous athlete. Great burst. Great vertical. They got a wide open 3 earlier out of this. There it is again.
That bounces off. Second time he's missed one from the left corner, and then Newman trying to save it on the baseline, but can't.
Problem with that shot for Lindell, he shot it on the way down rather than on the way up, and he was already heading back to midcourt before the thing hit the rim. That's where you just got to stay in your shot.
And before the inbounds, a Kansas foul on Malik Newman, his second.
Great setup on that inbounds. We saw them today, and Steve Prohm made the comment, when they run this curl action, he wanted Lindell to screen the nearest man. Screen, in this case, Nick Weiler-Babb's man, because of the switching. Again, Kansas defense, they're standing straight up. All right, when you're standing straight up, it is just a recipe, and it's open season on calling a foul on that player. They've got to get lower, get some leverage, and guard better right now in these out-of-bounds situations.
Wigginton hit the front end after the 9th Kansas team foul. He sinks both. It's a 1-point game. Little bit of a grab.
Yeah, good call. You've got to play with your hands outside of your body. The moment those hands go inside of your body and an offensive man starts driving right at your chest, it's an easy call for the officials. Easy call. When you have length, the worst thing you can do with length at any point in time is not use it. When you put your hands right out there and touch the dribbler, it's going to be called.
Eight to shoot. Graham pulls up a long 2 off the side of the right rim. Here comes Nick Weiler-Babb. Weaving his way towards the rim and laying it in. Drive by Garrett, but he's fouled by Wigginton. It's going to be the second on Lindell Wigginton. Timeout with 3:41 to play in the first half, and Iowa State up 1.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball, and the long-lasting power of Energizer, still going.
Guys, hey, what time's your flight?
Peek into that just a few moments ago, and also Trae Young and the Sooners in Lubbock tonight visiting Texas Tech. All that and more coming up on the Land Rover halftime reports. A 7-0 run for Iowa State. And Garrett, who's just a 52% free throw shooter, misses the first. Tied at 28. Iowa State, Wigginton and Jackson, a combined 0 for 5 from the field so far.
Well, and it's the points off turnovers right now. Kansas had the turnovers early, and now the points are 11-2 in favor of Kansas. But right now, this is what they've got to do. They're in the bonus, go inside, see what they can get. Sloppy dribbling by Cameron Lard. Great reach by Garrett.
Graham flips it back to Mikhailuk. An open three for Newman is good. And Kansas, who missed their first 5 3-point attempts, starting to heat up from beyond the arc. Now 5 of 15. Jackson pulls up from the free throw line and is short with it. Rebounded off the floor by Newman. Hands it off, and the three put up by Graham. Off the back rim, and then Lightfoot comes crashing in and commits the foul. Thursday night on ESPN, you can catch a Pac-12 showdown. Number 25 Arizona State hosts cross-state rival number 17 Arizona. That's Thursday night, 9 Eastern, 7 Mountain on ESPN, as well as the ESPN app.
You know, Mark, I'm sorry, Devontae Graham's missed a couple here, right? But his energy and his confidence that he's bringing his teammates is so strong right now in this game. You don't win 13 straight championships without your coach having a real standard of effort and determination. And with that comes a connectedness. And Devontae Graham is a connector. He's such a catalyst for what goes on out there. But it's a joy to watch him encourage his teammates. And as Bill said today, he's the one doing all the talking. It's not like he's getting a lot of help in that area, and you can see it happening tonight. If they're going to continue to get better, he needs to be encouraged from his teammates.
8 consecutive games of 40 minutes played for Graham. He's played every minute so far tonight. Garrett. Weiler-Babb had it, lost it. Graham with the left hand with the kiss. Lard. Well, Sylvia De Sousa doesn't see a lot of playing time, but we got Azubuike on the bench with a couple of fouls.
Power move. He's just catching it, sealing, going up and scoring. It's hard to fault De Sousa on that. He went straight up. He had verticality. Lard just overpowered him. Great pass inside. Gets it right where he can go with it. He doesn't waste his dribble this time. Turns over his left shoulder, goes right up over top of Silvio De Sousa. 2 points.
There's a three from Garrett. Deflected by Talley to Young. Here comes Nick Weiler-Babb. You look at Weiler-Babb's numbers. 12.7 rebounds, averaging 7 assists per game. It's certainly Trae Young, Devontae Graham. Great guards in this league. Weiler-Babb may get overlooked by a lot of folks.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, and that can happen when you've got some real star power in a league. But look at the energy. It's the way it's picked up in this game. The ball movement. And what he's got to do right now is become even more comfortable in the ball screen game. Put his man in the screen. Look to attack it a little more.
Newman. Count it. Well, Malik Newman.
Great play by Newman going left. Drops his shoulder. Donovan Jackson's holding on for dear life. But Newman gets to the rim, uses the glass, keeps his eyes up, finishes off the board. He's got a chance to add one.
Well, Newman had a terrific game when these teams played in Lawrence back on January 9th, an 83-78 Kansas win. And Newman came off the bench in that game, had a career-high 27 points, 19 of them in the second half.
And it's a game where Cameron Lard didn't really guard him. Or they allowed him to shoot, almost dared him to shoot. And again, that says a lot about how far Malik Newman has come in the last few weeks. Looking at it from this end, he's really improving. That finish was really good. He didn't go up and try to throw a shot up. He went in there and made a basketball play, used the backboard, and was able to get another free throw.
Newman is Kansas's leading scorer with 10 points. A minute to play in the half. Weiler-Babb shot well short.
Yeah, you got to throw that in. Lard had DeSouza right on his back again. You're in the bonus. They can't guard Lard. Go inside.
DeSouza. Tip. Well, DeSouza's only played 19 total minutes. That's just his second field goal as a Jayhawk.
Yeah, and he finished it up. You know, he played through the traffic, got the tip, and again, Devontae Graham splitting the double team with that pass. Excellent play.
DeSouza's previous made field goal came at West Virginia, January 15th.
Now let's watch Talley in that right corner on a back cut.
Weiler-Babb and DeSouza called for the goaltend.
Good finish by Nick Weiler-Babb. He put his man in the ball screen early on in this game. He has not done a great job of hanging his man up in the screen, so he's had a little bit more coverage. Puts him in, goes with his right hand. Easy call for the official.
So just over 10 seconds left in the half for Kansas. Looking for the final shot. Up by 4. Mikhailuk with the drive. DeSouza won't fall for DeSouza, but he'll go to the line with 3.5 seconds to play.
Yeah, they got fortunate because they could have easily called the travel on Svi on that pitchback. Great set play. Svi hopped his feet a little bit. All right, didn't turn his shoulder and clear the defender like he could. But credit to Sosa coming off the weak side for the tip.
His first collegiate free throw, and he hits it.
And we're here to witness it.
Mark down the date and time.
And the ticket stub. Or the media pass, whatever comes first.
1-2. Final seconds. Weiler-Babb. Will it count? For now, it does count.
Yeah, they're going to have to review this one.
They will take a look.
No. Looked like it when it was in his hand. They counted it, but I think we're going to see a reversal here. But credit the play. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But credit him. Timed it up perfectly, stayed in his shot. A lot of times guys get in that situation, they take that hero shot, that cool guy shot where they yank that hand out. But unfortunately, all it's going to be is a great look. It's not going to count.
So they do wave it off. So it's 39-34 Kansas at the break. No question about it. It was in the hand of Weiler-Babb. The red light was on. So you take the 3 points off the board. When we come back, Carl Ravitch, Seth Greenberg, Jay Williams, and the Lion Roll.
Ready to shoot the three. Had a drive late in the half. Really picked it up. I think what we're going to see now, though, we're going to see Big Doke. All right, they've got to go inside to him. Inside of both blocks, and I think we're going to see Wigginton and we're going to see Jackson get on track with even more movement. They've missed some open shots. Now we're going to see even more movement.
Wigginton had 27 at KU on January 9th. Jackson 20, so they combined for 47. Just 4 points between the two in the first half, all from Wigginton from the free throw line.
Yeah, and he's missed some open looks. He's had a couple, but he has not been as aggressive, and they put the pressure on. That's a good start, though. That's where he's getting better. He makes the simple pass. It's not about his offense. It's about Iowa State's offense.
And right away, third foul on Azubuike. He only played 8 minutes in the first half.
Yeah, that's tough. Just stand there. He went into him with the body. He had great length. but he was late. He reacted late. And what happens to Doak? He gets caught standing up when it's not his man. He rotated over late, and that's all it took.
Nobody coming to the scores table for Kansas, so it looks like he's going to stay in right now, picking up his third foul inside the first 30 seconds. You know, Iowa State really didn't take advantage of Azubuike only playing 8 minutes in the first half.
No, they really didn't. And that's on the Iowa State players. They missed some wide open post-up opportunities that Lard had. You got to recognize what the game is giving you, and the game was giving you the Lard post-up.
Newman going for the lob, but deflected and defended well by Iowa State. You go right at Azubuike here.
No question about it, and I think they will on this roll. Throw it back to the shake. Oh, travel. I think what Steve Prohm wanted, okay, when the gap is covered like that, throw it back to Talley on the right wing, who's in that shake. Get that one-on-one with Lard. That's where Wigginton's got to recognize the game, recognize that Doak has got the fouls, and somehow figure out how they're going to get that ball inside.
9 Iowa State turnovers. Kansas with 5. Remember, KU had 4 turnovers early in the game. Protected the ball much better the rest of the first half.
And then turned it into a 14-2 points off turnover run. Great pass.
Vic, a 3. Got it.
That's the unappreciated part of Graham right now, how good he is finding when the help commits. Found that weak side corner off the driving it left, found him in the right corner. Great pass.
Azubuike's pass was going out of bounds, and somehow Graham saved it, threw it to the middle, and Vic was there. Here's Vic again, another 3. Graham touched it last. Iowa State ball.
Both teams letting the other team's point guard walk it up to set the offense, not bringing pressure in that backcourt at all to try to wear down the guards. This is where Wigginton got his threes in the first half. He's open, throw it in.
Instead, Jackson shoots over, and it's short.
That's where he gets in trouble. He shoots the challenge jump shot, whether it's from the 3 or 2, rather than the wide open post up. Throw the ball into the post.
Newman drives, kicks to Vic. Another 3 from the corner. He's hit 2 of 3 there now just in this second half. Timeout, Iowa State.
Well, they're not guarding Vic. Are they just allowing him that corner 3? He's made 2 of them. Big plays. Great play. Just a superb look, all right, on this pass. All right, drives it wide open, knocks it down. But with the catalyst of this Kansas team, he sees the court so well. Great pass, wide open Vic in the corner. He was open for me to you, Mark.
Is indeed the #1 team with Michigan State coming in at number 2.
Well, I know this. When we were at Indiana, you never wanted to play Purdue after a loss. They lose to Ohio State. Purdue goes into Michigan State. Michigan State beats them. That's good enough for me. They're #1 this week in my mind.
Largest lead of the game for Kansas. They're up 9.
Wasn't ready to shoot. They're almost daring Young to take that jumper again.
Wigginton falling to the court, and the travel. It's the 10th Iowa State turnover.
Mark, Lindell Wigginton has not been able to get much going to his left. They're running a lot of weave action, which is getting him to his left hand, but there's not much space. So he gets into a situation where he's indecisive. That's causing the travel a little bit. They need to get him more at the top of the key, let him have a choice to go either way, and let him get to his right hand again.
Playing with 3 fouls, Azubuike got deep position. Tough to stop there, even for Solomon Young.
That's as automatic a shot as there is in college basketball right now. When you let Azubuike get to that left shoulder, I've said it about 5 times already tonight, it is Isaac Haas, all right, Big Dope. You let those guys turn over the left shoulder, they are scoring. All right, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's laying it in over the rim. You can't let him get it that easy. He's got it again, same thing. Great spin.
So he's now 5 for 5 from the field. Azubuike came in shooting 76% from the field, #1 in the nation. Open 3, and that time Jackson hits.
That's what Jackson needs. He can drive it into space to create his shot. He's an open three-point shooter. He was wide open on the break. Great pass ahead.
Vic, lob, Azubuike. "13 points for Azubuike. Here's Lard. The handoff. Wigginton is fouled and run. Well, maybe that's what Wigginton needs to get going. His first made field goal of the night.
It is. Great cut by Wigginton. Speed was standing straight up. Cut by him. Great pass from Lard. Excellent play.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66. Proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball. And Papa John's dual layer pepperoni pizza. Large, just $10.
Hey, Chris, how's the move going?
Just around again, it's crossover Wednesday night hoops on ESPN and ESPN2. Just like last season, some of the college guys jump to the NBA, and some association guys head back to school. You got Hubie Brown, Jay Billis, they have Virginia Tech Duke, Mark Jackson, Dickie V, Clippers at the Celtics. PJ Colensimo, Dan Dockage, Kentucky and Auburn, and Doris Burke teams up with Bill Walton for the Warriors and Trailblazers. Wigginton completes the three-point play out of the timeout.
Now this is where Bill Self loves to come out with a lob or a high-low. Let's look for some type of clear-out action to get Doak on the side.
Azubuike has scored Kansas's last 6 points. Goes up again. There's his first miss in a couple of games. He had hit his last 10 shots going back to the Baylor game. A deflection by Graham. Steal
Look at
Kansas.
Doak run. Look at Doak get out. Find him on the seal. Reward the big fella.
It's a Graham three. In and out. Azubuike's got to be careful not to pick up that fourth foul. Almost did there. Tally. Tip. Loose ball right to Jackson. As hot as Azubuike's been. And Bill Self was out of the coach's box, apparently. Wait a minute. Did they just call a technical on Bill for being out of the box? Oh, it's a warning. It's a warning.
Yeah,
They gave him a warning. They didn't assess the technical, but give Michael Greenstein, the official, some credit. And he could have given him the technical there, because we've seen that where there's no tolerance.
Well, the players are probably happy because the pace of this game, they got an extra 30 seconds to rest right there. So we'll call it a good thing.
So just a warning for Self, who had a big smile when he learned it was just a warning. Wigginton's three. In and out.
Now, here comes more weave action. Watch for the back cuts. When Lightfoot's in, they love to get this court spread.
Vic shooting over Lard.
Wow. Wow. LeGerald Vic. When Kansas wins in the Big 12, LeGerald Vic is shooting 44% of his points are coming from the three-point line. When Kansas loses in the Big 12, 15% of his points are coming from the three-point line.
All of his points have come from the three-point line tonight. He has 4 for 12 points.
It's trending well for Kansas.
Wigginton trying to answer, and does for Iowa State. You know what? That's a matchup. Lard defending Vic that Steve Prohm was willing to take today.
He is. He is. And Lard did defend that play.
That was a two-pointer, not a three for Wigginton. Vic off the right side.
They missed him again. He's wide open on the seal.
The drive, in and out, tip, Tally. Young. The crowd back in it at Hilton. Newman quiets the crowd with an and one for Kansas.
Great job by Newman. Jackson got up too tight on him, and Newman is getting so much better at dropping his shoulders and getting the dribble out. Watch Jackson climb up into him on this screen, peeks, he just turns and drops the shoulder and goes. He's got to be up earlier, not reacting on that, because that little peek and that little step allowed Newman the opportunity to beat him.
A free throw miss for Newman, who's been one of Kansas's better free throw shooters this season. Under 13 minutes to go in Ames. 56-48. Kansas by 8. Weiler-Babb, a two-pointer. Swish. Back cut, Graham reverses, but too strong. Weiler-Babb weaving his way through. Weiler-Babb not showing the effects of that left knee tendonitis. He's moving pretty well. He has 8 points in his 10 minutes.
The pace of the game is great right now. It really is fun to see.
Lightfoot going to the rim on the nice feed from Graham.
Lard has given everything that he has. He's got to touch the ball more in this situation.
And Kansas getting some minutes from Lightfoot. There's Ibuki on the bench with his 3 fouls. That's a 3. It's short from Wigginton, but there's Young. Double-digit scoring for Solomon Young, 10 points.
Now, let's watch Wigginton. He just missed that 3. Head down a little bit. Let's see if he'll rise to the challenge here right now, guarding the All-American and Devontae Graham.
The screen by Lightfoot. The 3-ball missed by Graham. Lard. Timeout, Kansas. Just Big 12, Kansas down a game to Texas Tech. You know what's going on in Lubbock. Here in Ames, Kansas only up 3. The score, you may have noticed, has changed. It's now 58-55. They went back, looked at the Wigginton shot from the left corner. Originally scored a 2. They've changed it to a 3.
Low.
As Ibuki gets in the lane and scores.
That's so much pressure on anybody, let alone Solomon Young, to have to guard him down low with that size. Great pass by Speed. There's no question he's their best post feeder. That was a tough angle. Great play by Speed.
Wigginton looks for Young. He faces up on Azubuike, shoots over him and scores. He has a dozen. Laird out of the game right now, getting his left leg worked on. Azubuike faces up, somehow found Graham with the pass, who's fouled and will shoot 2. 3rd foul on Wigginton. Now they're working on, looks like the left thigh of Cam Lard.
Oh, I hope that's an energy drink right there. It is, because he needs it. He is playing so well. The great Bill Russell, who just celebrated his 81st birthday yesterday, he always said that hustle was the main ingredient he looked for in a player, because hustle is a talent. He would like this game. He would like Laird. He would like Young. He would like Doak. There is some serious hustle on the frontline players in this game.
Graham hits the free throw. Devontae Graham, of course, he hasn't come out of the game. He is 2 of 14 from the field, 1 of 7 in 3-point shooting.
Do you know what I love, Mark? You look at him, you'd never know. You'd never know that he's playing every minute. You'd never know that he's missing shots. He never lets, from where we sit, his lack of offense ever affect him coming down on the defensive end. That's one of the reasons that he's a great winner, a great leader, and also probably one of the more underrated, mature players in the country.
Back in the hands of Weiler-Babb. Still 10 on the shot clock. A three from Jackson. Just a hair long. Newman hesitated. Graham feeds Azubuike. Back to Graham. And Wigginton in his face. Wanted to repost Azubuike, but now Newman driving. He'll shoot two. First foul on Nick Weiler-Babb.
No good patience, and again, they got the ball in the middle of the floor for Newman to make the drive. Now he's going to get the 2 free throws. Again, he's dropping that shoulder.
Thursday night, ESPN catch a Pac-12 showdown. Number 25 Arizona State hosting cross-state rival number 17 Arizona. Thursday night, 9 Eastern, 7 Mountain on ESPN, as well as the ESPN app. Young goes out. Cam Lard is back in. Lard, 8th double-double of the season. He has it tonight. He had 19 points and a career-high 17 rebounds Saturday against OU. He's at 15 and 10 right now.
This will be a fun matchup with Doak and Lard together here.
Talley spinning, shooting, scoring.
Talley loves to spin, going both ways, took his time on that. He's such an efficient player when he drives and covers ground off that first dribble.
Vic down the lane and somehow got it over the outstretched hand of Cam Lard.
Great play. They got the movement. I mean, that's one of their textbook sets.
Quick pass. Lard was all alone. He missed the lay-in, but is fouled. Somebody forgot about Lard there for a moment.
No, I know it. And that's probably the one guy tonight. But again, that's when you've got a team that's running, when you've got to guard the corners the way you have to against Iowa State, when the ball is being pushed and driven, that happens. Those miscommunications happen.
Better form there from Lard on that free throw.
Really is, because what he has a tendency to do is his shoulders come back and he falls off the line a lot of times before the ball ever gets to the basket. And in that time, he had great placement, shoulders were forward, held his follow through, had great balance. Let's see if he can do it again.
He has a tendency to fall backwards sometimes.
You saw it, but he kept his hand in the shot.
5-point game. Just over 8 minutes to go.
Shot for Spee in the corner.
Talley was there. He drives instead. Mikhailuk foul going to the rim.
Great read. They got hung up. Credit Spee. Hard cut to the middle. Waited on the screen. The defender slowed up a little bit. Creates a long closeout. He's going to the basket, driving left, which is his specialty.
Mikhailuk had 23 points in the first meeting this year with Iowa State. He had 6 of 9 3-pointers in that game.
He's just an efficient, effective player and has improved so many areas. And again, you don't want to leave him alone in the corner. You don't want to let him drive left. You got to find him on the break. He gets people open, but he is a tremendous passer to that post. Because the way they feed that post in the high-low, that is not an easy play.
Still sporting that shiner under his right eye from the mishap with a teammate in the pregame warm-up at Baylor on Saturday. Spinning, Wigginton, nice move to get right past Vic.
They found a way to utilize Wigginton in the ball screen. That's usually Wigginton's play where he's coming off that ball screen. But they found a way to get him into the corner on the shake. They got to get the ball stopped on this other end.
So 11 points now for Devontae Graham, his third made field goal. Jackson blocked by Garrett, who touched it last. And a timeout. Wigginton starting to find the stroke, though.
He is, because he was on the single side. They run the ball screen. Again, like I said a bit ago, he's used to having the ball on the ball screen. He gets the ball in the catch, straight line drive. But they celebrate the play. They don't get back and lock in. They get on their man. Graham one-on-one to the rim.
Hey, Chris, how's the move going? I get it. New house, new truck.
Oh, you didn't see that coming, did you?
College Game Day covered by State Farm, live from Kansas, Saturday at 11 on ESPN.
Well, game day back in Lawrence this weekend. Bill Self and the Jayhawks will host that. 13 consecutive Big 12 titles, tying UCLA. UCLA won 13 in a row from 1967 to 79. Here's Lard, blocked by Azubuike. Tied up, possession arrow Kansas.
Yeah, that's not Lard's move. Lard's move is not over his right shoulder because he needs to go back over his right hand. Watch the play. He catches it, but because he doesn't score it with his left, Doak can get the block because it's in his right hand. If he's going to become an effective player turning over his right shoulder, he's got to get that left-hand jump hook.
Kansas led by 5 at the break. They were up by as many as 11 early in the second half. Now up 7 with under 7 minutes to go, and Vic adds to the lead. He's been a difference maker tonight.
He has. They're getting to the rim the last 4 or 5 minutes, pretty much outside of the post-up anytime they want.
Vic has a team high 16 for Kansas and a travel by Lard.
Good call. He's rushing. He's flustered right now. This is where they missed the Monte Morris. This is where the leadership. We're seeing Wigginton is trying to get it. But this is where a young team has got to come together. This young guy's been playing his heart out. Now help him get regrouped so he doesn't make a mistake down here on the defensive end.
Luke, the lob to Azubuike. Timeout, Iowa State. 6:20 to go, and Kansas has opened up an 11-point lead. Well, Azubuike, he's had some foul issues tonight, Coach, but he has managed it well.
Well, you get an unbelievable dose of energy when you're dunking that ball. And he plays with great quickness. Again, he's able to turn to his left shoulder. We see that play. He's got it on his back foot. Then he spins because they're standing straight up. And he's so hard to guard when he's in movement because he's so quick. And if you watch the ball at all, because of that quickness, he gets behind the play like that for the dunk.
17 points on 8 of 9 shooting. He came in leading the nation in field goal percentage. He's done nothing but add to that.
No question about it. Lard's trying to get that title tonight, but Big Doak holds that belt right now.
Yeah, Lard is second in the Big 12 in field goal percentage.
Yeah, we'll watch for, will they go to the Oklahoma strategy if they continue to stretch his lead and try to put him on the foul line on purpose and make him try to beat him at the foul line. Watch the slip. This is where they get great spacing off their weave action.
Down to 4 on the shot clock. Wigginton, the mid-range jumper. Bouncing around and off, deflected into the hands of Luke. Walked up by Devontae Graham, which is rest time for him, really.
It's amazing. We've talked about it last night in film. We talked about it today. He steals a good 7 to 8 seconds of possession because they don't guard him full court. So he gets to rest to bring the ball up. I'm sure he's not complaining.
Now at 1 bit, 8 on the shot clock, staying with Kansas. Lard trying to keep going here. He has had a high energy night. Once underneath the hoop here. He kind of tripped over his own foot
tough
there.
turn there.
Short shot clock is Kansas to inbounds, baseline left. Newman, offensive foul. Right into Wigington. Third foul on Malik Newman.
Good play. Now, this is where come together. You keep talking about a young team. All right, there's nobody in there but them to pull this thing, talk to each other. Nick Weiler-Babb is getting his confidence back in this game. Keep Lard picked up. You've got good ball movement in here. You've got good shooters. Spread the court and see what you get.
Still over 5 minutes left, but you get a sense, big possession here for Iowa State, Coach.
Oh, no question, because they've got guys that can get other people shots in this.
Wigington, a three. Is that the shot you wanted, though?
No, not with a hand in his face. He loves to shoot it off of his right foot. So, and he got good lift, but it's a challenge shot. And again, when he misses, a lot of times he is shooting it on the way down rather than on the way up. That ball's going on the way down through the rim. They're not talking. The communication, which has been maybe the biggest Achilles heel, and it's a part of youth, but it's not an excuse. They do not talk as nearly as good as they have to defensively.
See who to give that foul to. You had Vic and Azubuike in the vicinity.
Again, the ball pressure is not good on this pass. They're letting Kansas get too comfortable. There's no pressure on the ball. Throws it up towards the rim. No call on the back screen on the weak side. Another dunk.
Foul went on Vic, his third. You were talking as we watched game film last night. Iowa State does have some issues in communication.
Oh, there's no doubt. And it can't be an excuse at this time of year. They get switching can never be an excuse for not giving great effort. And neither can really not being comfortable on the court. And what happens to young teams, okay? It happens. You start to miss shots. You lose a little bit of that swagger, toughness, energy on the defensive end. And the first thing to go is your communication.
Weiler-Babb's free throw did end Kansas's 8-0 run, but the Jayhawks have made their last 6 from the field. Graham, well off.
Not his shot. Not his shot. He is not a two-point pull-up guy, and it has not been there tonight.
Lard from 16 is well off the right side.
Now you got to get up, put some pressure on the ball right now. Keep this thing going. It's tough because Iowa State's played so hard all night.
That back cut in the pass to Mikhailuk. It's intercepted by Talley. Graham trying to tie it up, reaches in there. And the foul is going to go on Mikhailuk. Timeout, 3:39 left in Ames. Kansas by a dozen.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Boost Mobile. And in part by Heineken. Open your world. Enjoy responsibly.
Guys, hey, what time's your flight?
I've got an hour until I'm supposed to board.
All right, we have things to do.
Up 3 on ESPN. Cassius Winston, Michigan State, number 2, at the barn tonight against Minnesota. Guys, back to you.
Carl, thanks. Back here in Ames. 3:39 left. Kansas up 12. Iowa State inbounds. Here's Lard. Blocked by Azubuike. Third block for Azubuike tonight.
Now, they had Jackson on the cut last time. They've stopped cutting as hard on these out of bounds. It's a great place for them out of this set to draw fouls.
Wigington gives it up to Talley, who slams it home.
Talley's so good getting behind the defense. Great pass by Wigington. Time's running out, but they got to bring a little more pressure than this. They don't have to foul, but they got to make it uncomfortable for Kansas.
And Mikhailuk there to kiss it in.
The silent assassin. He's been a little quiet without the scoring, but he's been involved in every play, whether it was because they had to guard him or the screen that he would set. There he is on a cut.
Well, that gives Mikhailuk 10 points. So all 5 Kansas starters are now in double figures in scoring tonight. Malik Newman just picked up his 4th foul. He misses the front end. Kansas happy to walk it up.
Yeah, and they're letting him. All right, we'll see Mikhailuk come off a screen, come off this opposite way.
Mikhailuk steps back, 3 off the front rim, rebounded off the floor by Weiler-Babb, who avoids Newman, takes it to the rim himself and scores.
That's a momentum changer. Svi didn't need that shot. They come down, they allow the layup. It's a step back 3 with plenty of time on the clock. He's got to know better than that as a senior.
Dangerous pass. Vic fouled by Lard, who was just making the aggressive play, trying to come up with a steal.
Yeah, absolutely. They both went for the ball. Just he got caught on the inside of it.
Second foul on Lard. It's the 5th team foul against the Cyclones.
A lot of times a young team doesn't realize how much time is left in this game. 10-point game, 2 minutes left. All right, there is a lot of time. You can't have empty possessions, and you can't let them come down and run a comfortable offense right here.
Scoring time. Those are the first 2 things, right?
No question. No question.
6 to shoot.
Driving left.
Missed with the left hand, and then Azubuike, who's managed his fouls well tonight, does pick up his 4th with just under 2 minutes to play.
Great drive. What this is allowing them is to get to the foul line and set their press. And in a 10-point game right now, maybe it gets down to 8. You've got to try to get something going in the backcourt. Again, you do not have to foul. There's plenty of time. But you've got to bring some fatigue to this. Try to get them into a mistake.
This is a 1-and-1 for Lard. 3 for 4 from the line tonight.
I'm sitting over here talking about mistakes, and Devontae Graham's on the court. It's hard to get him into a mistake.
Make sure you catch SportsCenter after Virginia-Miami on ESPN with Linda Cohen and John Anderson. They'll have Tim Legler's breakdown on the new look Cavs and a lot more, including Tiger teeing it up at the Honda Classic this week and what he says it's going to be different about his game. SportsCenter tonight, coming up after Virginia-Miami on ESPN. Important free throws from Lard, make it a 7-point game.
The moment of truth every game has one, Mark, and here it is. And Kansas needs about 2 more possessions to put this away. Do they go into Doak and risk the foul?
Doak sets the screen. The kick goes to Newman. His 3 missed. Tip. Young has it for the Cyclones. Talley trying to lob, but Vic saved by Newman. Threw it back in, but Weiler-Babb gets it, and then Talley scores. Timeout, Iowa State. It's a 2-possession game.
Two teams that have brought it all night. It was a tough pass, but Talley kept it alive. All right, great step in, all right, to make the save. Read it, he was alert. They throw the ball. Talley drives it, scores it with his right hand. They're right in this game. Now, the key will be, all right, do they want to foul Doak early and play a possession game, or do they want to come right down, okay, and play this out? Because at the very least, they're going to have 50 seconds to come back the other way. But they've got to get pressure on the ball, try to get them into a mistake, because very likely Kansas will try to take as much time off this clock as they can, all right, and get something going in a middle pick and roll.
Well, obviously Bill Self knows that Iowa State fouling Azubuike is one of their options here. How does he play Azubuike on the floor to try to perhaps avoid or...
Not happy, Wigginson's not happy, but not the end of the world. Very little time came off the clock, okay? And they've got a chance to set their defense again.
Yep, just the 16 fouls, so they had a foul to give.
They're going to throw it all the way into the backcourt, run for a handoff. They didn't have to. No pressure. Now, as this gets down under 15 and 10, you cannot foul. You got to play this out. They look like they're ready to do that.
Five to shoot. Newman, a three.
Wow.
And a backbreaker. Newman sinks a huge shot for Kansas.
It really was, because it was a tough pass.
But Weiler-Babb answering with the bucket and a chance for a three-point play.
Yeah, everybody's got to get back. Malik was shushing the crowd. He's got to get back. Great choice by Graham. He's not free, makes the pass. It's not a great pass. Newman gets his feet under him, steps in off the dribble, knocks it down. But Malik, we got to get back because they're running right back at you.
Still 42 seconds to play. 3 of 6 from the line tonight is Weiler-Babb.
Now, still time. Try to get a steal in the backcourt.
Here's Vic. He's had a great second half. 16 points, 13 in the second half. A little touch foul there from Jackson. And that will be the 7th team foul. So a 1-on-1 coming for the Gerald Vic with just under 38 seconds left. It'll be the first trip to the line tonight for Vic, who is a 67% foul shooter. Young to the bench. He's played well despite having an MRI on his left knee earlier today.
Yeah, he really has. Very, very impressive. Let's see if Kansas runs a spin on this free throw to try to offensive rebound it.
He misses the front end. Still a 2-possession game. Wigginton trying to make it a 1-possession game. Lard was about to grab the rebound, and Graham came out of nowhere and made a huge defensive play for Kansas.
Freshman mistake. Lard went up with one hand. One-hand rebounds are a killer. And he went with it. He couldn't secure it. It's defended well. Goes up, look, and he tries to get it with one hand. Here comes Graham. Secures the ball, holds on to it. And again, maybe Lard couldn't get it with 2. But when it's a loose ball, all right, the quickness wins.
1-and-1 for Devontae Graham. And he misses the front end. Still life for Iowa State.
Watch Jackson here.
Tally. And 1! Fifth on Newman, who has just fouled out.
They were looking for the Jackson 3. We see him step off the foul line, but Tally makes a great read, driving it, changes direction. Look at that cross. Just an excellent Euro step. Finishes it high off the board. He is such, you speak about catalyst. He is a catalyst for how well this team plays because he can do so many things. Tonight they got the bonus 3 from him early in the game, but he's on the attack making things happen.
So Kansas has missed 2 front ends that has given Iowa State life. We'll see if Tally can complete the 3-point play, and in doing so will make it a 1-possession game.
Well, they've got to be prepared for the miss in this situation, or for the long tip out to get another possession and try to get a 3. They've got their guards up, so they're set to go into the pressure.
And he was short with it, but it's tipped coming out of bounds. Kansas ball. Now they can look at this.
Yeah.
They're going to go to the clock, to the monitor.
It's going to be close. Tally's convinced because he stopped running for it. Jerry Pollard was convinced as he called it the other way.
So with under 2 minutes in the game, they can go to the monitor to check, and obviously with 19 and a half seconds, that's what they're doing here.
Tally stopped coming like he knew. But I'm not sure he would have had a read on that. We'll see if we can see that from a different angle.
Now, it's important that the call on the court is Kansas ball. So have we seen enough yet to overturn the call on the court?
Not yet. Let's see whose hand. Lightfoot is definitely in there. Lightfoot's hand was definitely on that ball, but was he last?
Jerry Pollard, our lead official, on the left. Bert Smith there on the right. They're taking a look at the monitor.
Indisputable evidence.
Well,
it's going to be close. Definitely looked like Lightfoot had his hand under the ball in the scrum, but there were obviously other hands in that vicinity.
Okay, we have a moment. If it stays with Kansas, and Iowa State's down 4, they're obviously going to have to foul, but let's take another look from underneath. And they're going to keep it with Kansas.
Keep it with Kansas. Now, you got to try to get a 5 count on this ball. You got to put great pressure on the ball, try to get a steal. Kansas or Iowa State has the arrow, so go for the tie-up. You're going to foul anyways, so go for the tie-up. Don't just concede the foul. See if the ref will give you a chance at the tie-up. And stay with your man. Don't get caught switching. Kansas loves for you to switch in these situations to get you in a miscommunication to beat you long.
They fouled Graham with just under 19 seconds left. By the way, Texas Tech, final seconds in Lubbock. Looks like they're going to beat Oklahoma. So it looks like Kansas would need to win, and it has just gone final in Lubbock. Texas Tech has beaten OU. So Kansas will need a win here to stay a game behind Texas Tech with 5 games to go in Big 12 regular season play.
Now, fortunately for Kansas, they probably don't know that right now.
No, they do not.
So they can just focus on this without adding to more pressure.
They missed the last 2 front ends, but this time Graham hits the front end.
I like what Bill's doing. He's bringing everybody up. He's not going to allow them to roll the ball up. He's going to try to turn them. He knows every second counts here. Don't let him have any free seconds by rolling the ball up and towards the front court. Watch Jackson on the step back for the 3.
Lightfoot in his face. He gave him a little push, cleared some room. He's short. Rebound Kansas, and Vic foul with 7 seconds left, and it looks like Kansas.
Credit Lightfoot. They sniffed it out. Jackson was open. Lightfoot reacted, challenged the shot. Challenged the shot, made Jackson step back without fouling him. Great defense.
So looking like Texas Tech and Kansas will both win tonight. Whereas Kansas has West Virginia this Saturday. Game day will be there.
That'll be a little fun.
It's going to be 9 straight games now for Devontae Graham, playing all 40 minutes.
Look at him. I'm sure he's dead tired, but he sure doesn't play like it.
Three from Jackson is short, and Kansas wins it 83-77. So let's update those Big 12 standings. Texas Tech and Kansas both with wins tonight. So the Jayhawks are now 9-4 in conference play. Texas Tech has improved to 10-3. Fun game tonight here in Ames.
Oh, it was a great time. It was a great time. Great crowd. Iowa State's just got to know they got a young team. They've been blessed to have so many good players and good seniors. They got a young team that's going to get better, but don't count out Kansas yet.
Michigan State and Minnesota coming up right now. Dave Fleming, Dan Dockich, and Molly McGrath from Minneapolis. For Coach Crean, I'm Mark Neely. So long from Ames.
Now to Miles Bridges, 6 seconds. Miles has it.